Hi, Carla. Welcome to the Go Girl podcast. I'm so excited to have you here, and congratulations on making it to the Forbes 30 under 30 list.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. I'm so excited to learn more about Chomp and how you ended up founding this company. So, do you want to start with your journey? Like, how did you get the idea to save the entire world?
So I got the idea, probably the first beginning version of the idea, when I was at uni.
Mm-hmm.
So I studied F&B and hospitality. Both my parents were in F&B. It was kind of a natural path. Um, I wanted to be an artist. Obviously, never happened. And so I ended up in F&B. And while during my uni period, so it was about 4 years, I spent my time doing loads of different jobs, like just to see if I really liked the industry. And I must have done like 10 odd jobs of like ice cream vendor and like fine dining chef, like waitress, like all these random F&B jobs just to see if I liked it. And it was kind of a consistent thing in every job where there was always food waste. And so what happened was when I went back to uni, we looked at like cost control, we looked at all these theories about reducing food waste and like being a more sustainable, like having a more sustainable future in hospitality. And food waste was a topic that came up about how there was no solution. There are ways to reduce, but not completely. And I was really shocked in like the fact that there were so many other solutions out there for different parts of the industry, but for food waste, like the teacher was like, there's not much there. And I was
Mm.
like, what? Are you kidding me? Like this was like 2016. I was like, it's 2016. We don't have a solution for this. This is crazy. We have a million things and we don't have this. And then I worked in marketing for F&B, so I went to New York and worked at a marketing agency. I did loads of projects for hotels and brands, and it was the same thing. There was always leftover things at the end of the event. There were leftover food at the end of a party. There was leftover food from restaurants. I was like, this is also New York? What? And then I moved to Hong Kong after graduating, to be closer to my extended families, my grandparents and my aunties. And I worked in a marketing agency in Hong Kong as well, focusing on F&B brands. And the same problem came up. And all I was thinking was, this is just a nightmare. Like, these brands are losing so much money in food. And then COVID happened. So this is fast forward 2020. I decided to quit my job thinking it was a short-term notice because Hong Kong had SARS and that was only a couple of months. So I thought it was the same thing. And realizing quickly that it was, in fact, not a short-term thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I started freelancing. And while I was freelancing, I had some friends over one night, and they were my friends from uni, so they were from like the F&B industry in Hong Kong, and they were saying that a lot of their jobs are on the line because there's just so many harsh like COVID restrictions, and a lot of people were losing their jobs. We had salary cuts, we had pay cuts, we had things like restricted dining hours, we had two people dining per table instead of maximum, which is usually like 10, 20. And so a lot of my friends ended up losing their jobs. And they were like, it's crazy because we're throwing out all this food because there's no dining service, there's no dinner service, and we're throwing out all this food, and it's, something like the equivalent of my salary. And
Mm.
I was like, what? You're telling me that there are bags and bags of food sitting in the street and you've lost your job, but this costed the same amount? So the idea that I had thought about, something in 2015 when I first had an F&B job, came back and I was trying to figure out like how it would look like. We went through about a year of planning where we were like, maybe it's a book where people just like log how much food they have and then strangers
Mm-hmm.
can come in and look at the book. Obviously a system that would never work, but but then we looked into web apps, we looked into like websites, we were trying to look into all these ways. And then we saw that there was a similar solution in like North America, and
Mm-hmm.
we thought, okay, well, why not bring it to Hong Kong? But there was a lot of issues with that, right? Because Asia market, as you know, is super different to
Hmm.
North America or any other market. It happens so much faster. People have less time. If you've ever been to a restaurant in Hong Kong, you know that things happen in like 10 minutes. Um, Things are so fast. So the app had to change in many, many ways.
Hmm.
Um, and so it took about a year to plan, but in 2021, we launched what Chomp is today, which is an app for people to save food from going to waste. So you can almost think of it as like a marketplace, like Surface app. Yeah.
Amazing. Would you like to like just walk us through the process of like how it would be using Chomp? Like I download the app, now what?
So the app unfortunately only works in Hong Kong, but essentially restaurants, they have their own app and they can
Hmm.
list how much food they have left over. So it's anything
Hmm.
from baked goods to hot meals to beers, flowers even because they start to wilt, and skincare products because they have like a shelf life of 12 to 24 months. So whatever product that is close to expiring or is made on the day but won't last another couple of days, they'll list it on the app. And everything is at least 50% off. So you know you're getting a good deal whenever you buy on the app. And customers get to download the app. They get to see all these choices of restaurants. And at the top is marked a pickup time. So you can't pick it up at any time in the day. It's only a selected time period. And this is because that hour or that period is when most of the waste is happening. Uh,
Hmm.
and so it could be the last hour of the day, it could be the last hour of lunch service. So between 3 and 4 p.m., and people can order on the app and go head to the store to pick up. So everything's done through the app. You pay through the app, you go to the store and pick up. We have no delivery because it's a completely carbon neutral company. And yeah, the aim is to be as sustainable as possible.
I love when companies are like sustainability first and it's not like an afterthought. So it's commendable what you're doing because it's so heartbreaking to see food going to waste when we know there's so much world hunger out there. And I think I read somewhere
Yes.
where that we produce like 3 to 5x amount of food that we actually need in the entire world. So technically there should not be any world hunger if only we efficiently managed everything. So how much food is wasted in Hong Kong? Can you give me like some idea on that?
It's so heartbreaking. Like, I was recently looking up the new statistics and it's so, so bad. So 50% of the world's food waste comes from Asia alone. Um, which is
I'm shocked because I am from
crazy.
Asia. Oh my
Which
God.
is crazy because like if you look, there's so many continents out there
Hmm.
and Asia's just one and it already makes up 50% of it, which is,
And my
I
thoughts
mean,
just
it's,
go back to India. Like there's so much hunger there as well, and I'm like, are we
yeah,
wasting? We're wasting so much food, which could actually go to
yeah,
people that need it. Like I've seen being third like being in a third world country in Asia, you have seen poverty in ways
yeah,
that other people may have not. So it's just so heartbreaking that something so basic as food goes to waste.
I know. And if you even look at it from like, if you're not interested in like talking about poverty, because I know a lot of people think it's like an uncomfortable topic, if you look at
Mhm.
it from like a monetary point of view, right?
Mhm.
And you look at how much money is put into creating a food or creating an item, like labor cost, farm cost, rent cost, cooking cost, storage cost, like delivery cost, shipping cost. Like you look at that as a whole, like a whole industry, you go, actually, there were thousands and thousands of dollars that were put into this $5 cucumber. Like
Mm.
how on earth did we get here? We got into this industry where it was like thousands and thousands of dollars put into something that is so tiny. And this is like obviously this is where inflation comes in, and then you look at like even in Hong Kong, we have this big like disparity of income, and you realize, okay, well, we have this huge amount of like high level Michelin star restaurants, and then we have these really small like what we call like Hong Kong cafes like Ta Ta Tang, which are just like really small cafes and their prices are going up.
Mhm.
And it's like, how is the average person going to afford this? And if we compare it to like India and this massive like poverty gap, we're still having to import loads of food. We have to import loads of, different ingredients. Like a lot of it, it's imported, and especially in Asia. Unless you're from like Vietnam or Japan, where you have like hectares of land and you can
Hmm.
farm and you can have cattle and like all these things. The majority of Asian countries don't have this. So a lot of it's imported, which means a lot of the money goes into importing this food only for it to be wasted. It's crazy. But to answer your question, how much food waste is happening in Hong Kong? I'll give you some statistics. About 36,000 tons of food waste is thrown away per day.
Per day?
Um,
I don't believe you.
per day.
I need the source.
I'll send
My
it to you. I was like,
oh,
you're joking. This
Carla,
is
I
a
believe you. I
silly amount.
trust you. I just do not
It,
trust this stat. It's crazy.
and then there was another one that was done by a hospitality NGO in Hong Kong.
Hmm.
13 million bowls of rice are thrown away every day. Bowls of rice, as
Whew.
I'm sure you can understand that rice is like a massive commodity. Um,
It's the staple diet. Like
it's the
that's
staple
all you
diet
need. Like that.
in
Oof.
every meal. And
Yeah.
it's like,
It's not
sure,
even luxury, like it's just the
yes,
basic need. Like,
yeah.
whew.
And it's 13 million. It's the equivalent of something like 3 bowls per person per day.
Whoa.
Like,
So
just
it's
make less.
no, I love your economic perspective of it because it's not about poverty. Let's forget world hunger. Let's forget all that stuff. It's a
Yeah,
failing system. It's
it's rigged.
inefficiency. Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's why are we producing so much more? Why are we wasting money for the people who do not want to care about world hunger? Well, it's a failing system. It's completely
Yeah,
inefficient. We need to solve it because it doesn't make sense.
exactly. And like, there's so many people who like homelessness and is a massive issue in Hong Kong. It's a
Hmm.
massive, massive issue. Refugees is a massive issue in Hong Kong. The government is not doing very much about it. Like these are all problems that we can tackle. We have an abundance of food. We are able to tackle this, but it's not happening. Um, and whenever I bring up the topic, a lot of people are uncomfortable because like, they don't want to talk about like charities. They don't want to talk about like homelessness or poverty. Like okay, fine. We don't talk about that. We'll talk about like an economic perspective. It's still a bad problem. Like it's still like you can't blind eye it. It's still pretty bad. No, it's seriously silly. There's another statistic I'll share with you, which I recently came across. This one's worse, I think. I think this one's just embarrassing. So the global average for people throwing away food, an average person throwing away food in the world is 20 kilos. So the average person throws away about 20 kilos, it's 20.6, but 20 kilos of food per day per person. Um,
Per day? Oh my
per
god.
day.
It
Yeah,
makes me feel
it's
so bad. I just threw out something that rotted in my
no.
fridge and oh my god, I try my best, like I don't even care
Yeah.
about the expiry date sometimes. I'm like, it's in the fridge, it's good till it smells. I don't know how healthy that is for me, but oh my god. Oh,
So
that is crazy.
that one's pretty bad, right? And then in Hong Kong, the average is 90 kilos. Like you thought 20 kilos was bad already. I saw your reaction. 90 kilos is way worse.
That's a whole person. That's a whole person.
Yes, that's a whole person. I didn't even
Maybe
think
even
about that.
two.
Yeah. I can't even lift that much weight. Like
My
that's just
god.
silly. It's yeah, it's just like you think about 90 kilos worth of food, right? Like you can't, in terms of like shopping bags, right? You could probably only carry, like, I'm not a strong girl. I can only carry like, I don't know, 10 kilos, maybe 15 kilos of food. 90 kilos, it would fill my
Oh,
apartment. That's just stupid. Like, why is there
I'm
so
gonna go
much
to the gym
waste?
later, so I really want to go try. Like, what does 90 kilo
90
feel
kilos.
like? Like 45 kgs on both hands. I'm gonna try that
Yeah.
today because this is absolutely crazy. And and this is not just in Hong Kong. Obviously, you're telling us world stats, but I didn't realize how big of this problem was before I talked to my friend, who also worked at one of the coffee stores here, like the coffee chains here
Mm.
called Tim's. And I did not know that they bake everything fresh in the morning, and whatever is left in the evening, they throw it all away. They are not allowed by company laws to give it to people in case they get sick or something. Like everything needs to go. Everything that you can see there that's left near closing time, all of it is gonna go into trash. Because frankly speaking, how many donuts can the employees take home to save? How many donuts can you eat in one day and save, right? It
Yes.
is crazy. And sometimes you go to these stores near closing time and like the whole showcase is full. So imagine all of that going to waste. So
Yeah.
it's honestly crazy, and I'm so happy that there are people out there trying to solve it, including yourself. And I would love to know like how much impact you guys have made, how much food have you guys saved, and what are like the different channels in which you're doing it.
So right now we have two main channels. We've
Mhm.
only recently launched the second one, but I'll tell you more about it. Through the app itself, we've saved something close to, it's an average because we don't weigh the food like on the
Mhm.
spot. So like even the restaurants, they don't weigh the food because, for example, if you order a box and you say, and the box says like four pastries of the day, exactly like your friend at the coffee shop, if they can't, like if you're the last customer and the box says four pastries, they're likely to put in an extra six, seven, like
Mhm.
just to like, instead of letting it go to waste, like someone gets a better deal, they'll just like throw in a couple of extra pastries. So it's really hard to determine per kilo, but if we're going by an average of like a kilo per order, we're something at close to like 30,000 kilos of food.
Wow.
Um,
I am
thank,
so happy
thank
for
you.
you.
Um, I mean, it's nowhere near like
Yes.
what the problem is,
Especially because you
but
just shared the stats, so I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna take us so long, but it's still something.
yes,
It is still something.
it's still something. And I think that's always the thing with startups. It's like it's still something. But we recently launched another sort of arm out of Chomp. We call it the Rescued Feast. So it's a dining experience. It's the world's first ever sustainable dining experience made from food scraps. So what we do is we collected a lot of different food scraps from our vendors, and this is like scrap. It's not food surplus. It's things like, um, like burnt ends from meat. It could be
Mm,
like bones. It could be like egg whites. It's really stuff that restaurants throw away while they're making dishes. So we collected like about, for the first event that we did, we collected 240 kilos, 230 kilos of food scraps.
wow.
And we made it into a dynamic experience for 178 people. And
Wow, that is
um,
beautiful.
it
Honestly,
was
it's
so fun.
amazing. Like the small scraps. Like this is not even food that you get from the restaurant that's gonna go wasted. This is scraps that you use. So there is so much opportunity for repurposing these things at the restaurant itself, but I don't know. They've never thought about it. They don't have the resources to do it. So
Yeah,
this is amazing. You guys are like closing the loop there. That is amazing. It's like the
that's the
circular
aim.
economy thing that you've
Yeah,
studied,
exactly.
right?
That's the aim
Wow.
because we realized over the years that the app works really well for food surplus, right? So
Mhm.
items that are left over at the end of the day, but what happens to items that are cut off at the beginning of sort of the process of cooking? Like these are things like, the white parts of scallions. It could be like the bottom of the rice cooker. Like these are all things that are often scrapped, but actually quite edible, if you cook it in a certain way, or if you use it, if you repurpose it, you could even like flavor stock. Like it could be even that simple. So yeah, I think the event was like it was a really great indication that it can be used for other things. So we made
Mhm.
we made it a series. So every 2 months we hold these dinners. The next one's going to be July 25th. And we're aiming for about 260 people to come and dine with us, but everything is made out of food scraps.
Amazing. Oh my God, you're doing such good work and I'm so happy for your success. Like you can count on me for like cheerleading you on from
Thank
like
you.
since I've got to know your story honestly. And I would love to also know about how has it been being an entrepreneur and that to a young female entrepreneur because those are two layers that wouldn't be that easy to navigate, I'm assuming.
No, not at all. I wish I knew like how hard it is, or like no, sorry. I wish I knew how many things were against you.
Mm.
Um, being a like Asian female entrepreneur.
Yeah, I forgot the
Um,
Asian part. That too.
oh, everyone does. No, I'm joking. But all these things, and even in Hong Kong, like a lot of you could be Asian, you could be local or you could be half Asian, and there's still loads of investors who would be like, oh, do you have like experience outside of Hong Kong? Were you educated abroad? Like, did you go to these like Ivy League schools?
Mm.
Does it matter? Like, I just showed you my MVP. I showed you all
Yeah.
these things. There's traction,
You have
and it's like,
revenue, like you're on the right track,
yeah,
and you have so much experience in the F&B industry. Like it's a perfect founder market fit. So what's the
yeah.
problem here?
I reckon the problem is just like under 30 female.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I reckon it's maybe not even, maybe we throw the race thing away. It's just under 30 female.
Yeah. I
I've had
mean,
comments like I've had comments.
do you mind sharing? Like what kind of comment?
I've had some of them were from potential investors, some of them were from
Mm-hmm.
clients, like partners, like vendors. There were things like, how old are you?
Mm.
First of all, not really relevant, but okay. And at the time when I started Chomp, I was 24.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I'm 24. And he goes, yeah, that's usually the time when women start meeting men and then fall in love and have kids.
Is that the reason?
What
What?
does that have to do with anything? We're trying to sign you as a restaurant. And I was like I was in complete shock. And like my co-founder at the time was a guy, and he was like, yeah, we can guarantee that like that's not happening. Okay, like this is really just like a business. Like even if she does get pregnant, like I'm here, we have a team, it's gonna be okay. And he was like, I don't know, I don't know. And like he was so like hesitant. And then I was like, what's the real issue? And he goes, well, I guess the real issue is that like women often change their mind. And how do I know that this is not like a phase for you? Not a phase.
I mean, this is definitely not a phase. You're still doing
Not
it.
a
And
phase.
oh my God. Oh
It
my God.
was
This is the most
heartbreaking.
shocking comment I've heard. And I've heard a
Oh,
lot of stuff, but this is still, whoa, okay. I'm so sorry it
there's
happened to you,
no,
but,
don't worry. As in, don't worry. Like, I think
or
women
we're
have
used
had
to it.
worse.
Honestly, we're
Um,
laughing about it, but it's kind of sad.
I know, God. And like, especially if you've ever worked in F&B, like you get loads of like, or customer service or any like customer reliant business, you end up with some weird customers.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them feel like there's no barrier. And so like there was a story once where I was working at a fine dining restaurant, and we were not allowed to keep tips. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because we were like quite junior and we weren't allowed to keep tips. But if the tip was handed to us in our hands or in our pockets, we're allowed to keep it. If it's put in like if it's put with the bill, we're not allowed to touch it. And it goes straight into like the restaurant. This is not in the US, it's not in North America before someone comes at me. Um, and so what ended up happening was I had this customer who was like this 60-year-old, 70-year-old guy. And I told him the rule. He was like, oh, I want to tip you. And I was like, oh, unfortunately, I'm not able to collect the tips unless it's placed in my hand. If it's placed on the table, I'm not allowed to collect it. And he was like, oh, can I put it in your pocket? And I was like, you can, but I'd rather prefer it if you put it in my hand.
Yeah.
And he was
Personal
like, I'll just
space.
put it, yeah. And he was like, I'll put it in your pocket. And I was like, oh, don't do that. And he like folds this, granted, it was $100 bill. I was really impressed. But he like folds it up and he slides it in my pocket, but he slides it like he tries to go really deep, like deep in my pocket, sort of vertically, horizontally. And I was like,
Oh
oh, oh, and I like stepped aside and he was like, no, come back. And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. That's okay. You can leave the tip on the table. But I was like, people just have no barriers.
my
People,
God.
men have no barriers.
Men. Oh God. I don't know what's with men and like invading personal spaces because I was just on my girls trip with my friend from Singapore. She came all this way and we were meeting after 5 years, so we were in Montreal. It started raining. We were walking on like the cobblestone streets. Amazing. It was raining. I opened my umbrella and this weird 40, 50 year, I don't know how many year old dude just comes near me here and it's like, hey, and like under my umbrella, close to me, and I'm like, excuse me? And it was an Indian dude too. It wasn't even like a Caucasian white man. I was like, ah, excuse me. And then usually when these things happen, I get shocked. Like I just get blank because growing up in
Yeah.
India, I've been through these situations so many times and still haven't learned how to deal with them. So I'm just like, why is someone doing this to me, right? And then I close, like, I just move away, and then he goes away. And then 2 minutes later, he's under my friend's umbrella. And the best
Oh my
part is, she
God.
closes it and she's like, excuse me, sir. And I was like, oh, I love you. Like, I love this girl, but what is wrong with this guy?
What is wrong with
Oh,
these men? The
and
nerve.
this has never,
Honestly.
ever happened to me when I'm out with, like, my guy friends or, like, in a group. It's only when you're only with girls. I don't know. They respect male boundaries more than female. And,
Yeah.
oh, oh my
But this
God.
comes back, this is the same principle with investing. Like this comes back to
Hmm.
investing all over again, where it's like this would never happen with a male co-founder or a male founder. Like the questions we get asked are totally different. And it's like how you would never, like if I looked like a dude, you would never ask me that.
If you were a
And
Chad or Brad, you would have raised millions of dollars by now. What, 2%? We get only 2%
2%.
funding? Oh my god, somebody needs to talk about that. And I think
I
you said 1.8 before, right? For Asian women too, like not even 2.
yeah, I like to joke with my friends that I'm 1.9 because I'm half Asian, half white. It's
But
only
how is
1.9 for me.
someone how is someone expected to succeed or break into a tech industry like startup world with just 2% funding or 2% investors who would actually consider giving you funding?
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
crazy. I would love to
And
know about like your fundraising journey and how's it been going till now and is it hard?
it is so hard. I'm struggling. Um, I've been recently I've just finished this UBS Female Founders Accelerator program. It
Hmm.
talks about getting you funding ready. And there's a program that's for North Americans, and then there's a program for Asians, or those who are based in Asia. I shouldn't say Asians. And it's a really great program. I highly recommend anyone doing it, especially if you're not like if you haven't fundraised before. It's a great experience. It's an 8-week program, and then they put you into a real funding experience with a lot of VCs. So you can come out of it with like funding. But part of that, this is where the statistics come out with like the 2% and the 1.8%. But one of the mentors were saying like it's so uncomfortable to ask for money. And then
Hmm.
if you're Asian, you're even more uncomfortable because it's against your culture to like even ask for money, like ask for pocket money as a
Money
child,
is
ask
such a
for,
big taboo, right? Like we don't talk about money.
yes. No, we don't mention it. Like this is just Asian culture. We don't talk about it. We don't mention it. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Um, and then to ask for it, it's so hard. So it's a really difficult topic. And what happens is that it shows on your face when you're pitching, because deep down it's really uncomfortable. But and so I started fundraising, or like was trying to fundraise. Since that point on, it's been ups and downs. I've landed meetings. I've had some people who are interested, but they're not the right fit. Um, like the guy questions that were asked to me, not the right fit.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people ask for me to pivot, like extreme pivots, and I
Mm-hmm.
said it's just not the right fit. So I've declined quite a few people. We've been asked to be acquired twice, and I've declined because I just think, judging by the past acquisitions they've done, it would just ruin, I think, what we stand for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so at the moment, we haven't fundraised. I mean, we haven't closed any fundraising. We've just been floating on by with sort of um, our revenue so far, uh, grants, accelerators, award money, things like that. But it's really not like enough, which is why we need to start fundraising like aggressively. But it's a really uncomfortable process.
I can imagine because I think Asian one layer, young one layer, being a woman another layer. It's hard, but I do want to give
Yeah.
a shout out to all the women who are starting these female founder programs because there's one in North America too called Firehood that we were part of, and it's just amazing how they do realize the problem and they are sort of like these are either female founders or female VC investors who know about the problem and are trying to give it back to the women out there. So I do want to give them a shout out, but I feel like there's still so much to do in this space. Like
Oh my
it's
God.
it's whatever out there, it's very less right now. Like
Yeah.
um
But I think
yeah, there's
also at the same time, sorry for cutting you, but I think also
no
at the
no
same
worries.
time, it's so great to have platforms like Forbes is a great platform to like bring up like those who are undervalued or underviewed. Platforms like yours, organizations like yours who realize the potential of women and showcase that there is traction, there is potential, and like you don't need this blue sky thinking to have investments.
Mm-hmm.
That there like here's proof of concept, here's proof of evidence, that we can do it. And this is why like you've been around for years, I've been around for years. This isn't something we're taking on lightly. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I think platforms like yours are so great to be able to showcase this. Otherwise, people don't know about it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what is not talked about as much, which I would love to cover, is the reality of doing a startup. I mean, we always see the overnight successes, we see the 100 million exits, but nobody talks about how hard it is, and nobody talks about how much it takes out of you, like every single day. There's, first of all, yourself, then if you're from a culture which doesn't really appreciate risk taking, then there's like the layer of your family, relatives, and so much going on, and then just building something from scratch is hard. It's really
Oh
hard.
God. Yeah. It's like things like I was telling my friend recently because it's my 10-year high school reunion this year.
Hmm.
And I just came back from so I graduated in Paris and but I went to school in Switzerland as well. So I just did a trip to go see my friends in Paris and in Switzerland. And I was telling them about the realities of a startup and I was like, I don't sleep. I wake up at 3 every day consistently with anxiety or like
Anxiety.
some
My
sort
old
of
friend.
new idea. Oh yeah, she's just there. She's just
Yeah,
like in the room with
whatever.
me. And she's just part of me. And so when I landed, I had these massive like eye bags, but they were red. And it was from so I recently learned that the eye bags go red if you've been crying a lot, and it
Mm-hmm.
reacts with your skin, so the pH level is different. And I don't often like if my friends know me, I'm not someone who cries often. But Chomp has made me cry more than any man has ever done. I have had so much heartbreak with Chomp alone,
Hey,
that
what
it's
doesn't
just
kill you
like,
makes you stronger. Your
and
next
I've
breakup or
lost.
something, you're gonna be like, bring it on. This
Yeah,
doesn't
don't
bother
worry
me.
about it. I've had a startup. Please.
God, that should be a thing. If someone tries to
Yeah,
hurt you, like, don't worry about it.
don't worry
I've
about
been
it.
trying to build a startup.
I've just tried fundraising. Don't worry. This is nothing.
I mean, the life we
Um,
have chosen is already killing ourselves every single day.
God, it's so bad. Like I like don't remember when my life was like healthy. No, but in all fairness, like I try really hard to like check, like I have a lot of friends who like check in on me, which is great.
Hmm.
I recently started working out, so it's like it's a lot of alleviation. It helps a lot, but it's really hard to start something without like you can have every mentor in the world. But if you're inventing something new, it's really difficult for someone to like help you. It's not that
Exactly.
easy. Um,
Unfortunately, the only way is the hard way, which involves a lot of trial and error, and the
yeah.
errors bring you down a lot. And yeah, there's something called pivoting in startups for people who don't know, which is basically changing your entire product overnight. Your entire business models. Can you tell me how many times have you changed your pitch deck
Oh,
completely?
I wrote on Instagram, I must have done it like 85 times. I actually have no idea, but it definitely felt like 85 times. It was just I think my original pitch deck looked so ugly, and it's because nobody wants to share their pitch deck.
Hmm.
So you have no idea what it's supposed to look like. You have no idea like if you're supposed to be doing this, like what information are you supposed to share? Like, do you share the past or do you share the future?
Hmm.
Because
Do you
you only
share
have
all the
5 minutes.
twists you have taken to get there?
Do I do I show that I like tried these things? Because it comes up in the questions, like do
Yeah.
I answer them, in advance? So my pitch deck is a love-hate relationship. That's made me cry quite a few times, I'll be honest. My boyfriend knows that, and it's just been so annoying. I think I must have pulled like four over like all-nighters just editing that deck, only for it to come out the next day with some VC being like, um, subpar. And you're like,
And then they love the AI idea by Chad or Brad, which
oh,
has no proof of
what?
concept, no
Oh,
MVP.
I
Just
have
like
like,
one slide. I'm gonna use AI for X. Amazing. Millions of
it's
dollars for
like
you.
the hamburger industry needs AI. Why? Like, why?
Your shoes need AI
Thousands.
now.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about like the chocolate problem. Let's pick up cocoa beans with AI. What? Yes, millions of dollars. Here you go. What? I don't
Oh my
understand
god.
this. And it's like Chad and Brad are doing so well.
Oh my god. We should try and name ourselves Chad and Brad on the pitch deck.
Have you seen
Just
that
change our
thing about,
email.
yes, have you seen that theory about it's like a rogue theory, but it's a theory about William Shakespeare being a woman. Um and
Interesting.
it's a weird theory. Okay, don't quote me on this, but it's about how William Shakespeare, like the girl, couldn't get any like literature out there, so she changed her name to William. And ended up being everywhere. And she wore a
I
wig when
would
she went
not
out.
be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Maybe
I
we should
mean,
do
you
the
gotta do
same.
what you gotta do.
She landed that. She landed it. If she was she landed it. Yeah, maybe we should
So
be
you're
doing
Chad,
that.
I'm Brad.
Here we are, the new duo. Also, we're not Asian.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Don't forget, we're not Asian.
There must be some AI out there that when you go on meetings, it just changes your face to be white, Caucasian man. I don't know.
Where's Chad when we need him? Bring that out. Let's get a software up in here. Ah, it's so bad. I hate this industry. Like I not industry like I hate this like startup ecosystem. Um, but yeah, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna keep
But I
going.
guess we make it for everyone. We just don't make it for ourselves.
We make it for the next generation.
Yeah, we just make it
Hopefully
easier
they'll.
for them.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
what is keeping you going? Like, I know you're passionate about the problem, but there's so much rejection. There's so many problems that you're facing. You're crying. You have red eye bags. What is keeping you going?
It's a love-hate project, but it's still my project. The biggest one was so I used to snowboard a lot. I did like a couple of competitions when I was growing up. And so I spent most of my life like in the mountains on the ski slopes. I was put on my first pair of skis when I was 5. Like it was my favorite part of my life. Obviously Hong Kong has no snow and no mountains that have snow, so
I envy you
why?
because I don't know any winter sports and I'm here in Canada, so
You should. Shame on you. You should.
I need to start learning. Hey, I saw
Canada
snow
has
for the
some good
first time
ones.
2 years ago, so
Oh my God, how did you like it?
I love it. I still love snow. I don't know. People said I'll grow to hate it, but honestly, I love Canada and I love snow.
Who says that? I
I
love
don't
snow.
know.
Oh
Maybe
no.
because you don't have to shovel it every day right now.
That's fair. That's fair. But yeah, so it's I went back during COVID back home to see my parents.
Hmm.
And we went up to the mountains, like the one that I grew up snowboarding on. And they had been closed for good because no snow reaches there anymore.
Hmm.
Because of climate change. And I was so heartbroken knowing that this piece that I used to grow up on, like, just is closed for good. So I try to keep going for that, for the climate crisis. It's something that I want my kids to see. Like, I want them to experience snow. I
Hmm.
want them to experience the childhood that I had, and it's quickly going. Um, so yeah,
I love
heartbreaking.
how the problem is so big, but people are not talking about it. Like,
Yeah.
so certain presidents think it's not even true. So,
Let's get past that.
ex-president.
Let's get past
Yes.
that. I cannot. I cannot.
I mean, I kind of like the reason I'm not I try to do whatever I can in terms of like segregation and whatever I can, even avoiding food wasted, but I feel like I've chosen my issue, which is girl education, and there's only so much
Mm,
I can do in my life. So earlier I used to get like so much anxiety that there's so many things that I want to solve, but I soon realized that I think I'm gonna just focus myself on like this one issue and I'm gonna make it my life and then leave the other issues for other people to solve because there's only
yeah.
so much you can do. But honestly, it's such a big problem and I'm just surprised how little is being done. And I think we're at that level where we need systemic change, like governments and companies need to step up. There's only so much individuals can do. So I'm so happy that you are caring about this and there's a personal motivation and honestly, I just hope you make it. Like honestly, just
Me too.
purely, I hope you make it. Like I'm gonna
Me
be cheering for
too.
you the loudest if you like once we make it. I just hope we make it.
Thank you. Likewise, I just think that you do as much as you can, and you hope that someone else will pick up where you left off and continue on. But you're right. There's only so much you can do, and it's you pick your battles. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Before we end the podcast, would you like to give some advice to people wanting to do their own startups? Except don't do it.
Don't do it. I think research, research
Hmm.
on how difficult it is. I think it's a great experience. Like, I think I've had more experience in the last 3 years than anyone, any version of my life that I could have had. Like, I think I've learned more with this than any job I've ever had. And I would never change it for the world. I would pick this journey every time, which sounds crazy. Um, but for any girl that wants to go forward and like run a startup, do as much research as you can, ask as many questions as possible, and pick your battles. People are going to throw advice at you all the time. Everyone's got an opinion, especially Chad and Brad. Everyone's got an opinion. Pick your battles. Like, don't waste time with them or don't feel like you can do everything or you can pivot every way. Don't bother. Pick your
Hmm.
battles.
Yeah, I think you need to be believing in your vision. And I love how you said that you rejected money too and offers of acquisitions just because they did not match with your company's values, which is so important. So you need to like have a very strong foundation in terms of what your mission is, what your product is. Because I love, like, absolutely love what you said. It's like going ahead, like repeating in my mind is that it's a love hate project, but it's my project. Because I honestly, that's the reason I'm in a startup too. Because I grew up building a nonprofit I can't see myself working for, maybe if this doesn't work out, I will, but I can't see myself working in a corporate job, working for someone else. Whatever
Yeah.
this is mine. I'm building it.
Yeah.
Whatever highs and lows come with it, it's at least there's no one to blame. I'm not building like something that like another person's vision. I'm
Yeah.
doing what I want to do. So
Yeah.
it's been amazing and honestly healing talking to you because
Oh, likewise.
it's so hard. Like I also wake up with anxiety. I also cannot sleep at 3 a.m. Then I need to turn on Jay Shetty for like mindset work. Be like, you can do
Yeah.
it. But
Like,
it's
yes.
every single day. You have to pick
Yeah.
yourself up every single day. And
Yeah, it's hard.
you don't even know when it's like, it's not like tomorrow it's going to be successful. You don't know if it's going to take a year, 2 years, 3 years. And I think the average time startups take to be successful is 3 to 5 years, which people don't realize. People think they have an idea, boom, 2 weeks, you're like
Yeah.
exiting. That does not happen. That rarely happens. So
Maybe for Chad, but not for
maybe
us.
for Chad. Honestly, in this climate, it's even hard for Chad right now because there were a lot of Chads and Brads during COVID,
You're
and then now
right.
investors are just very, and they are making very informed decisions. But I heard something super cool the other day from like the startup incubation we were part of, and they said if we make it through this hard climate, then we're gonna be there for a long, long time. It's not like a
Ah,
stupid big investment that we have gotten without, a strong
yeah.
foundation. If
Yeah.
we make it through this climate where getting money is hard, that means our foundation is strong and we're going to be there for a long time. So I'm just holding
Exactly.
on to that.
That's a good one. I think that's the perfect way to end this. It's just
Yeah.
such a good like last thought. I love that.
Perfect. It was so nice having you here. Thank you so much for agreeing to do
Thank you
this.
for having me. I really appreciate it. I had so much fun.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Go Girl podcast. For more such inspiring conversations, do not forget to subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Japnit Ahuja. Until next time, keep being unstoppable. You go, girl.